We are joined now by Susan Zamich and Pat Schneider, coaches over at Stoughton for cross country. Thank you, both of you, for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's good to have both of you guys. I ran cross country, I ran track, but for some people who don't know the difference, what's the difference between those two sports?
Well, it's a common misconception that people figure if you're running, it just must be a track sport, but it's actually very different. Track obviously is on the track. You run a bunch of circles, you don't really go anywhere. In cross country, we run on grass, over hills, different terrain. It actually originated in England as a sport where basically they were pretending to be foxes and rabbits running over the fields. So we're running over the fields.
I did not know that. That's good to know. So how are those meets scored?
So of course all of our runners are very important, but to score a typical meet, you take your 5 fastest runners, and it's all based on their place. You add their places together, and the team that has the lowest total points is the team that wins the meet.
So it's like golf. You want a low score.
Right, yeah, you want to get that low score. Then and it's a crazy sport for the people who've never done it, because it's just like, oh, you're going out and running all over the place. But why would someone join cross country?
Well, a typical runner would join cross country for a variety of reasons. Number one is they have a passion for the sport. They want to compete competitively. Maybe they want to run in college. So those would be considered your varsity runners. We also have a variety of runners that use our sport to get in shape for their winter sport: basketball, wrestling, swimming. And so they want to come into their season being at top fitness. Then we have a third group of runners who do our sport because they want to belong. It is a sport where everyone can go out and run a 5K. It might be a little bit slower than some of our runners, but they just want to belong to a group.
And like you're saying, I mean, you have to run these long distances, and it's not just running around a track and you don't get lost, like all that kind of stuff. And mental toughness is a part of that, but how do you build mental toughness?
Well, I think probably the biggest thing we do is practice mental toughness over and over again. We do workouts that are very difficult. If you can do the workouts, you're going to be able to do fine in races. You need to prepare yourself in advance for what's going to happen, and the more you do, the better toughness you have.
And I know we are talking Stoughton cross country, so how is the season going so far?
On the girls' side, we've been extremely successful. We have had 4 meets so far. We've actually won 3 of those meets. Yesterday we competed against some of the top teams in the entire state and ended up placing 4th. So on the girls' side, we're having a very successful season.
On the boys' side, we've beaten about half the teams in our conference. We've had several individuals medal in different races, and we have a strong group of really young runners. So it's been good.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you coming on this morning for today's show, and man, good luck the rest of the way. I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
A special thank you to Conan Automotive in Stoughton for supporting local athletics.